Hey everyone, it's time for a weekly product update video for Openhaus Pro, and we are really pumped. It's finally here. So many people that are using Openhaus Pro have asked for this day, and that is white label domain configuration. It's here. It's finally here. I think probably more than any other feature or any request we've had for Openhaus Pro has been white label domains. Basically, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about with a white label domain, if you use Openhaus for a client and you share a space, you put together a client space with Openhaus and you share that with them. Before today, you would use just our, default Openhaus links. So that space's URL would be openhaus.app/view/ and then the space ID. Well, now you can use your own white label domain. And so what that means is you can either use a subdomain of your business's primary domain. So let's say, your business's name is 3dcaptureexperts.com. In order to stay brand consistent, you can actually use a subdomain now for your Openhaus spaces. So when you share a space that you've used Openhaus for with a client, instead of it being openhaus.app/view, it can be 360.yourdomain.com, which is important because as a business owner, you want your services and goods that you deliver to your clients to be brand consistent. And so if you're going and creating the space for them and they think they're getting this thing from your brand, and then all of a sudden the link, or the URL for that space is something they never heard of, like Openhaus, because really there's no reason for them to know that you're using Openhaus. You're just delivering them an awesome experience, right? So with that in mind, you can now keep your domains and your URLs brand consistent as well. So that's for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to white label domains. Basically, it gives you the ability to have all of your Openhaus deliverables to your clients use whatever domain name you want them to. And I just want to show you real fast where you access this in the portal account. So down here in the bottom left, I'm going to click on my account settings, and move me over here. You can see right here we added a new section to our account settings page. Okay, so you have your overview section, you still have your billing section, which lets you go to your billing portal, but we have this new white label configuration section, and this is where you're going to be adding and setting up your white label domain stuff. So I want to give two quick points here. The first point is that what we've added so far is what we call the view space domain. And so this is like if you create a space using Openhaus and share it with a client, this is the domain that you're doing right there. So like if that client goes and views that space or embeds it on their page or whatever, this is where that would take place. So you'd put something like, let's say, tour.yourdomain.com. Okay. The other thing is that we're working on what we call our metrics page domain, and we'll soon be releasing a new update that allows you to share kind of a summary public-facing view of the metrics of a space and links and tools to help share that. So when you think about, what do you deliver to a client at the very end, we want that to be kind of this new metrics page, if you will, that when you're done with a client, you deliver this web page to a client that has metrics for that space, links to share that space, etc. That will have its own separate domain that you can use. So for example, the tour itself might be, tour.yourdomain.com, and that's like the domain that's used to view spaces. But if you want to go and share like a metrics, public facing metrics page with a client, that is where you would put in this domain, and that will be a different domain, and that can be whatever you want as well. It can be admin.yourdomain.com or, metrics.yourdomain.com. We're still sussing out the details on that. So if you have any feedback on that, please let us know. But that is white label domain configuration. I'm not going to go through how to set it up in this video. We actually just created a how-to video that is pretty in-depth. It's like 10 plus minutes long that walks you through how to do all this. So I encourage you to watch that. We will link it as well wherever you're watching this video. But that's it. We're really, really pumped about this, and it's obviously been something that's been highly requested. So can't wait to see what domains you use for your client spaces. And thanks for watching.